Good morning, children. Welcome to Standard 4. I hope you all enjoyed reading Pippi Longstocking. By now, I think you all must have written the word meanings and you all must have written the question answers also. Now, today we are going to do working with words and learning about language. So, let's begin with the first exercise, children. Use the following words and phrases to make sentences. There are few words and phrases given on the screen. You can see, and I have helped you out by making 3 sentences for you all so that you get an idea how to make sentences. You have done this exercise before also, so it's not new for us. What are phrases, children? Phrases are parts of a sentence. It's not a sentence, it's a group of words that are picked up from a sentence. Those are called phrases. So you can see in the list: stepped out, had no idea, wondering whether, grow into, it must be admitted, you can be sure. These are all phrases. And remaining are all words like gathered, then remarkable and politely. So first 3 sentences I have made for you all. Let's begin with the first one: stepped out. The boy stepped out of the line as his shoelace had opened. See, I've underlined stepped out. Second, had no idea. When my mother asked me the exam dates, I said I had no idea. Wondering whether. The stranger was wondering whether he should enter the house as there was a dog inside. Wondering means thinking whether. Wondering whether. So, in this way, 3 sentences I have made for you all. Now, the remaining you all have to do on your own, children. Grow into, gathered, it must be admitted, remarkable, you can be sure, and politely. Children, one suggestion: whenever you are sitting with your English work, kindly keep the dictionary with you all, so that anywhere, anytime if you get stuck at any word, the dictionary is always there to help you. So formulate that habit of using the dictionary. Now, when you are making these sentences, make meaningful sentences and try to make short sentences so that you commit less errors. So this is about make sentences using the words and phrases. Now let's come on the next exercise, children. Learning about language. In this we are going to deal with participles first. You can see a table on your screen, children. There's a table which starts with break, broke, broken. So let me tell you, all the first words that is there in the first row, those are all verbs. Then the second row is the past tense of that verb, and the third row is the participle form of that verb. So what are participles? A participle is that form of the verb which partakes of the nature both of a verb and of an adjective. So participles are words or verbs which act both as a verb and as an adjective. Participles are words that come with a to be verb or with words like had, has and have. So you will find participles always having had, has and have in front of the verb. To be verbs. What are to be verbs? To be verbs are verbs that supply additional information about the subject. Now this statement will be very clear if I read out the next example for you. The boy has broken the vase. In this sentence, children, subject is the boy. And what has the boy done? The boy has broken. See, I told you, participle will always have had, has or have in front of the verb. So your broken is a verb and in front of that has broken. So this word has broken is giving information about the state of the vase. What is the state of the vase? It has been broken. By whom? By the subject. Who is the subject? The boy. So these are all participles. Now I'll read out the table for you. You are supposed to fill the table. It's given in your textbook. There are some blanks also. You can do this exercise in the textbook itself. So break, broke, broken. Show, showed, shown. Go, went, gone. Cheat, cheated, cheated. Stream, streamed, streamed. Hear, heard, heard. Say, said, said. Spread, spread, spread. So you can do this table as I told you in the textbook. Now the next question. Make sentences using the words from the last column. The words that are in the last column are broken, shown, gone, cheated, streamed, heard, said, and spread. So you have to use these words in sentences of your own. So make sentences you have to do in your notebooks, children. I have helped you out here also. I have made 2 sentences for you, and the remaining you all are expected to do on your own. So I made a sentence from broken. I have chosen broken. The newly purchased vase was broken by me. And underline that word when you are using it in your sentence. Then cheated. Manas had cheated in the game. Now there are some remaining words given. You all will make sentences in your notebooks. Now let's come on the next concept. And the next concept is articles. Yes, you are familiar with articles also, children. You have been taught articles right from first standard. The use of a, an, and the. Words like a, an, and the. They are called articles. When to use a, when to use an, and when to use the. A is used in front of consonants. I have given some example. For example, a dog, a girl, a boy. What are consonants, children? Consonants are those alphabets which are not special letters. The words like letters like B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, and Z. These all letters are consonants. I have removed the special letters from this list. The remaining all are consonants. And in front of these consonants, a is used. If you come across a word like, see in the example, girl. Girl begins with G. G is a consonant, so a girl. Dog, D is a consonant, so a dog. Boy, B is a consonant, so a boy. So these are consonants. Now, when do we use an? I told you previously that special letters. I was talking about special letters. So special letters you all are familiar with. Those are called vowels. A, E, I, O, U. In all these 26 alphabets, these 5 letters are special letters. And they are A, E, I, O, U. So whenever you come across words which begin with A or E or I or O or U, you have to add an in front of it. You can see the example what I have done. In front of apple, an apple, because apple begins with A. Elephant, elephant begins with E, so an elephant. Ox, ox begins with O, so an ox. So in front of vowels, you will always write an. Now let's see when do we use the. The is used in front of particular person or thing which is only one of its kind. For example, the sun. There's only one sun in this world. The sun, the earth, the universe. So all those things which are special and which are only one of its kind. Like the Bible, there's only one Bible. The Mahabharata, the Ramayana. In this way you use the. Now, the is also used when a noun is repeated in a paragraph. For example, I'll make a small paragraph for you all. I went to a garden. The garden was very beautiful. The garden had plenty of trees. There were many rides for children in the garden. Now in this paragraph, children, in the first sentence I used I went to a garden, because garden, it begins with G. So according to the rule, it is a consonant. So I have put a. But from the second sentence onwards, if you will notice, I am using the in front of the garden. Why is it so, children? Because the garden that I am speaking about in the first sentence is an unknown garden. I am talking about an unknown garden where I have been for the first time. So I went to a garden. Now in the second sentence onwards, I am talking about that same garden about which I have introduced in the first sentence. So in the second sentence, you are familiar with that garden. You are talking about that same garden about which you spoke in the first sentence. And that's why it becomes the garden. Everywhere it becomes the garden. The garden was very beautiful. The garden had plenty of trees. There were many rides in the garden. Because from second sentence onwards, the garden does not remain unknown. You are already spoken about that garden in the first sentence. So it's about that same garden you are speaking, and that's why it becomes the. So this is all about articles. Now one more exception I would like to mention over here. The letter H. When it is used in words like honest or are, an hour late. Okay, so here H is a consonant. So according to the rule we should use a. But when you pronounce the word honest, you'll pronounce it as honest. The sound comes at aw. We do not say honest. The sound of H is her. So it should be honest, but we don't say honest, we say honest. So the sound is of o, and that's why we'll add an honest. I met an honest man. The train was an hour late. R. We do not say har, we say R. So these are the rules for using articles, children. Now let's come on the next exercise. They have given you a passage and you all are supposed to fill articles over here. So see on the screen, children, the answers are there. Once upon a time there lived a king who was a fine man. The kingdom he ruled was very large, and all the people who lived in it were happy and prosperous. Can you see a cross over here, children? Yes, there are some sentences. Deliberately a dash is given for you to fill, but it's not necessary that there should be an article over there. Sometimes it's given in order to create a confusion for you all. So you have to identify whether an article is required or not. So particularly in this sentence, an article is not required, but a dash is given. In that case, what will you do? You will put a cross. Again, I am reading the second sentence. The kingdom he ruled was very large. Article is not required. You will not put any article over here. So the kingdom he ruled was very large, and all the people who lived in it were happy and prosperous. So again, I have put cross in front of were, because even there article is not required. One day a great flood of water. Yes, again before water article is not required, but a dash is given. So in that case you will put a cross. Flood of water came pouring down from the mountain and swept away the palace and most of the city. Many of the people were drowned, but the king sent his army and carried everyone to some high ground. There is no article required there also. So again a cross before ground. In this way he saved, again a cross, many people from, again a cross, death. In the last sentence also there is no article required, but a blank is given. So you will put a cross. So this is all about articles. Let's come on the next exercise now. Using who or which. So here who or which. These are the words which are joining two sentences also over here, and you can also call them as relative pronouns. Yes. So observe the two sentences carefully. See the steps, children. First, observe the two sentences. There are two sentences given, and you have to join those two sentences by inserting who or which. So observe the two sentences carefully. Identify the subject being spoken of in the first part. Read the first part properly and then identify that sentence is talking about a person or a thing. When the subject is a person, then you will add who in order to join those two sentences. If the subject is a person, then you will add who. And if the subject is a thing, then you will add which. And when you are joining these two sentences by inserting who and which, please drop the pronoun, ignore the pronoun, and add who or which to join the two sentences. Now I have solved two examples for you so that you get an idea how to do it. This is the bin. The dog tipped it over. This is the bin. Bin means dustbin. So dustbin is a thing. We are talking about a thing. This is the bin means it's a thing. So what will you put? Which. So this is the bin which the dog tipped over. See, I have ignored that it, because about this is the bin, we are already talking about that it in the first sentence. So again the pronoun is not required, children. So this is the bin which the dog tipped over. Second sentence. This is the teacher. She told the boys to be quiet. This is the teacher. In this first part, whom are we talking about? Teacher. Teacher is a person. So what will you use to join it? Who. This is the teacher who told the boys to be quiet. So in this way, children, this exercise you have to do in your notebooks. Write it in the same manner as I have done for you. 2 examples I have solved. Leave a line after each sentence so that the work is neat and tidy. So in this same manner you will do it. Remaining sentences you will solve in your notebooks. Let's come on the next exercise now. Nouns. What are nouns? I think everybody is familiar with this. But still let us revise. Noun is a word used as the name of a person, place or a thing. Many a times you might be playing this game also in your free time, children. So nouns, names of people, names of places and names of things. Now many sentences are given. You can do this exercise in your textbook itself. We have to underline the nouns. I'll read out the sentences and I've underlined it. So you all kindly do it in your textbooks. Once upon a time, there was an old man called Ramji. So I have underlined time, Ramji. One day, he took his dog and went to the forest. Day, dog, forest. Next sentence. Suddenly out of the bushes came a fierce tiger. Bushes, tiger. Next sentence. Ramji was afraid, but his dog feared no man or creature. So Ramji, dog, man and creature. Fifth sentence. It took one step towards the tiger and barked. Step and tiger. Sixth sentence. Ramji stood with his back against the tree. So Ramji and tree. Soon the tiger ran into the forest. Tiger and forest. Ramji went home and told his wife about their brave pet. Ramji, home,